Okay then. There we go. Okay. Good morning, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Dew the Kieran. I will be playing a wonderful, lovely old real kind lady called Elisabeth Trepp. And this is going to be our FPS Dragon It On. And I'm playing with someone I haven't played before, and I'm very excited to play with today. Would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Yes. So my name is Zen. My character is Penn Scrib. He's a little cat tune. And I am also very excited to finally play with you, Do.
Vibration station has been activated.
My
You
hands,
F the
they
vibration
move it.
station. But yeah, okay, so how should we set this off? You want to start off by describing to me where Penn is at the moment and what they're up to?
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
No,
Um,
you're good. Immediate cackles are the best kind. That means it's going to be a good one.
no, it means I don't have shit and my brain is empty. But I was gonna look up the name of the town. I was gonna re-listen and remember the name of the town. I forgot. I don't know it. A town. So Penn is currently in a town in Tessie, Canada. Uh, so, somewhere. Uh, if you if you listen to Road Trip to Recovery, the name of the town and all the circumstances leading up to this are there. I suppose it doesn't really it not entirely pertinent to today's game. So he's in a
I have
town.
listened to that. I have listened to that, and go listen to it. It's fun. It's very good. But cool. Yeah, you're in a town.
Um, and I think
After all of that.
well maybe as a place sort of where they might meet up. Maybe he's heading to the local library to see what kind of books this town might have on uh various things.
All right, go ahead. If you head into the library, go on ahead. You probably head in. It's probably about little like late-ish afternoon kind of deal, like just after the time where like all the book reading clubs for the kids have gone home and stuff, and now it's just it's a smallish enough library that you can just kind of walk in, with a quick hello to the librarian. Don't suppose you're gonna go and ask where the books you're looking for are, or are you just gonna have a wander?
Oh, he is absolutely not going to ask. He's going to look for it himself first. So off to the
Oh,
shelves it
wonderful.
is.
Cool. What are you looking for, by the way?
Probably considering circumstances, maybe some books on magical prostheses. Prostheses.
Prosthetics?
Yes, I was looking for the plural, and I was just missed it entirely. Prosthetics. There we go.
At you. I pat you. English word hard. You do English good though. You do it very well. Okay then. You wanna roll me investigation?
Okay.
Still doing
Switch.
that. I'm gonna roll this. I keep putting
Oh my
um
god. Penn's bad
God.
rolls continue.
A Pen,
The
how
dice
often do you
hate
go to
this.
the library?
The dice hate this little cat. Uh, Sometimes I'm gonna say it's a middling amount. Not a lot. Not like never, but
Okay. So you've been to the library a couple times. However the hell libraries are usually laid out, this is not how this library is laid out. In that last game you were in, Road Trip Recovery, did you go to the library there before? Or was that just
different
a dream?
town. Yeah.
Oh, it's a different. Oh, yeah, it was a different town. Never mind. Ignore me. I remember things well. Don't at me, Morsky. Don't at me. Uh, but anyway, yeah. So that library is completely different to this one. The layout is just different. The order is different. They have organized things completely differently. And you can roll perception if you'd like to try and figure it out. Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Okay then.
What were you rolling for?
Don't worry about that. Just you roll first.
Okay.
This is what you get. 18. Yeah, no, you look around and you can clearly see her. Okay, so in the last town, everything was kind of sorted by like, what's the word? Category, like cooking, theology, kids section kind of deal. This place is not sorted that way. This place is sorted. It's a weird kind of assortment. At first, you think it's sorted by color, but then you see, no, that's just one bookshelf. And then you look across to another bookshelf and wait, is that sorted by texture? Like there's a whole section that is just sorted by, it seems to be like the same texture kind of book. It's very strange. It's kind of put up in a way that looks like people don't want you to take any of the books. Like it's more of an art piece than a bookshelf. And you look over, and then there's more books that are just stacked on a pile on the floor, but they're not on a bookshelf. They make like some kind of book tunnel. It's this library is weird. Nothing. This library doesn't make sense. This library's fucking weird. Why is this library like this? How do you find anything?
Yeah, he's just like looking at this, kind of defeated, like, how is he supposed to find anything here?
The library dungeons have been moved out of the dungeons and are now on the main floor of the library. um, but as you're looking around, you will also hear coming from behind you. I don't suppose you seem to be rather as kerfuffled by all this as I am.
Yeah, Penn is gonna turn around to face whoever was talking.
Hey, so you probably Penn's quite short, aren't they?
Yeah, he's just shy of 2 feet tall.
Oh, incredibly puntable. I won't punt Pen. This woman will not punt Pen because as you look up, it is indeed a woman. It's a real kind woman. In a long traveling cloak, some traveling clothes, like sensible jerkin trousers, a thickish kind of blouse and stuff. And as you look up, she's got she's got graying hair. She's got brown eyes, and she's got her hair is up in like a tight bun, but with two loops going around each of her ear, like loose loops. Like imagine Katara from Airbender
I
kind of
was just
loops.
thinking, yeah.
Yes, that exact kind of loop. And she's just looking down at you, and you seem to be. I haven't been in Einquell very long, but is this typically how most libraries in Einquell tend to, well, stack their shelves? And as she says that, you hear a of a book flying by. You presume it's a book. It could be something else you don't know, and you don't want to look.
Could be a paper airplane. Who knows? Uh,
Perfect.
yep. Penn shakes his head and then he signs not most of them. I don't think. Um, and he is starting off in tune sign, so he's probably. Should I roll insight to see
Yeah,
if he can tell if she
absolutely.
understands that or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna roll her intelligence. Oh, I forgot to say as well. This woman has like olive skin, freckled, weathered skin. Like she's been outside quite a bit, and she's also got out what looks to be a quarterstaff that she's leaning on as she's walking around. Um, yeah, that's what I wanted to add because I forgot that earlier. 12.
Yeah, that's
Let me just
not fantastic insight, but
Well, you can clearly see this woman, the heavy lines on this woman's face furrow even further as she looks down at you and she tilts her head to the side. And she can tell you're trying to say something, but she's just slowly nodding. My apologies. I'm not proficient in that particular sign, and uh, I'm not a great speaker, as it were. As she very slowly lifts up her hands and begins to sign with finger spelling hello in Faruman sign. And she just shakes her head and says, I'm afraid I'm rather slow when it comes to signing. I can understand well enough, but my old fingers aren't quite as good at aren't quite as good as picking up the shapes.
Penn pauses for a moment and he says, you know Faruman sign? Well, he signs that in Faruman sign.
Yeah, she nods. Yes, well, it's similar enough to some of the other sign language I have encountered that, well, I won't need an interpreter to understand you, so long as you, I'd hate to ask you to have to dumb yourself down on my behalf, but so long as it's simple, I can take a grasp at it.
And Penn does sign, like, I can write if you'd prefer.
Oh, no. And she lifts up her other hand, it's not holding the staff, and just shoos it away. Oh, no, I'll keep up just well enough. No need to worry about that. I may not be proficient in speaking it, but my goodness, if I put you out just because writing would be easier. No. I'll be just fine. And she nods her head. And yeah, she seems like she's perfectly fine. Just she's fine with trying to talk to you that way.
Yeah, so Penn resigns what he said first. He's like, well, I can't say this is the norm for libraries in Einquell. And also she can roll insight on Penn if you want.
Boy, what's your insight? Elisabeth. Oh, she hasn't even introduced herself. What a fool.
Neither has Penn.
Well, as she rolls this insight, she's just going to shake her head and just sort of slightly slap the side of her face, like, oh dear, I can't believe I've forgotten to introduce myself. My name is Elisabeth, and she's gonna hold out her free hand. And I'm gonna roll her a dex check because she's old and you're very small, and she has to lean down to get to you.
Oh no. Now we're rolling a bunch of things. Is that the insight or the dex?
That's the dex. This woman, despite her being old, she's been out in the field a lot. That's a nat 20 for people listening. She got a 21 on a dex check. She gets down there, no problem. She bends down, holds out her hand, and just holds it up to shake. The insight she got was a 15, by the way.
Okay. Well, with the 15, she can tell Penn's not thrilled about her having to kneel down, but he does return her handshake. And overall, he seems like excited to have the chance to use Faruman sign again. Like he's been. She gets the sense that. What does she get the sense that? Me shaking my brain. Yeah. She gets the sense that it's been a while since he's used it, but not in the like, oh, it's so dusty, I have to dig this out way, but in the like, oh, cool, I haven't gotten to use Faruman sign in a while way.
It's like when, to be incredibly nerdy, you get to use a certain mathematical formula you haven't used. I'm like, oh, I've been doing the same way. Oh shit, I get to use a different formula for this? Hell yeah. That's from my incredibly nerdy point of view. But yes, I understand. She understands. She's just like, well, I suppose you don't often use Faruman sign in well, she gestures around at the incredibly toonish outlined area.
Yeah, she signs back. He signs back. Yeah, not many people in Einquell know it. I'm Penn, by the way.
Ah, Penn. Wonderful. By the way, does Penn have a special, like, with signs, when people sign, they tend to have like a word that
Name
fits the
sign?
person. Yeah,
Or
name sign, that's the word.
um, I haven't thought about it at all. And he's introducing
It's fine.
himself, so like he's spelling it out in this
Oh,
instance
he
for
does, he
sure.
does that.
Because like if
All
you
right, cool.
if you introduce yourself with a name sign and don't spell it out, it's like how's she gonna know what that means?
That's a good point. See, now that's a very smart point. Jew did not think of that. But yeah, okay. She just nod and look around and say, well, Pin, what exactly were you looking for? I'm sure we can figure something out and perhaps pick something out together. How about that?
He looks a little bit uh put off, especially at that last part, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, so he'll say or sign magical prosthetics. What about you? What's your topic of interest here today?
Hmm. As you saw magical prosthetics, you're just going to see one of our eyebrows raise and say, oh, magical prosthetics. Oh my. Well, hmm. Magical prosthetics. Let me think about what that would be. Oh, as for what I'm here for, well, quite frankly, I'm here for anything concerning the, I suppose it would be more, not quite myths and legends, but any information this library may have about natural fauna and flora would be ideal for someone as something I'm looking for.
Pen like nods at that. He gets the sense from how she opened up that it's probably the more interesting flora and fauna that she's taken an interest in. Um,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. She's Sorry, go ahead.
like she's probably not here to study just like uh frogs and trees.
Oh no. Look at this woman, and with your insight from earlier, you can tell she's an old-hearted adventurer. And as she leant down and you shook her hand, you even did notice she had very calloused hands. Like she works with her hands a lot. Like she doesn't have she doesn't have gentle hands, if that makes sense. She's got the hands of someone, of a laborer, someone who does work out
Mm-hmm.
outside kind of deal.
Yeah.
And there were like a few little nicks and scars on her hand as well, just like small little white lines and some darker lines that you might have noticed. But yeah, she nods and she looks around and says, "Well, I don't know how exactly you want to tackle all of this. Did you want to split up, or would you like me to help you, or would you like to help me?"
Uh, here's the hard part because splitting up is the sensical thing to do here, but it's not so interesting for an FPS where we're supposed to be interacting.
Not
Uh,
particularly. Hmm. Well, Elizabeth will probably tilt her head to the side and think for a second and say, unless, and then she's just gonna slowly slide her eyes down at Pen and then to her staff and then up to the top of her staff, which sits probably about a foot higher than her head, but maybe two. She looks slowly back down at Pen and squints and gives a little tweak of a smile and says, how good at you at balancing, would you say?
oh, she is getting such a deadpan glare.
Oh, come now. If you don't want to, I'm not going to make you. I just thought it'd be better to have a better vantage point up there. She gestures to the top of her staff. But I understand if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. She's gonna roll investigation now. Let's see. Yep, that's what I thought. She looks around at the library, probably trying to find like a name tag or something on the shelves. But every time she like tries to wander over to one of the shelves, it just there's no name tag. There's nothing. All the books on there are just unlabeled, uh, stacked in very strange artistic ways. There's one that looks like a spiral of a conch shell. There's one that looks like there's one that's ironically enough stacked in the shape of a book, which is very very well done, especially for a bunch of books to be stacked in the shape of a book, without giving away the fact that they are in fact a bunch of books. That's amazing. Um, she can't find anything. She shakes her head and just, well, I don't know where exactly. I can't really see sod all. Apparently, I don't understand how this all works. I don't understand what system this lot are using. Honestly, and she's muttering to herself before looking back at Penn, and I don't suppose you have any ideas on how to get through all this, would you?
Hmm. Hmm. Like they probably could ask the person at the front desk, but
You
which
could.
which is more daunting? Asking someone for help or going through all of this?
Social interaction or having to troll?
I'm gonna flip a D2. Okay, I think Penn is walking up to the desk at the front and hoping there's a librarian behind it.
Um, yeah, there's a librarian. There was one that kind of like looked up at you as you came in and then just sort of like gave a brief wave and then looked back down at a bunch of books. They were stacking like a pyramid of cards.
Oh my god.
There is like a stack of a slow pyramid stack of books just slowly being put up on their desk. They are not looking away from the book stack as they just kind of, hi, hello, can I help you?
uh, Penn is gonna try signing to them in Toonkind this time to say like we're looking for books on magical prosthetics and exotic wildlife. Do you know where those would be?
This librarian, without taking their eyes off their book stack, I'm gonna roll a quick thing for them just to see. Um, they're doing very well. They have this. They have a very steady hand as they put book after book after book onto this stack. As you're asking this question, they take a while answering you back because they are just slowly adding more and more and more books. This book stack is now almost as high as this person's head. They think and go, yeah, okay. You want magical prosthetics and all that, and the fauna and flora. Go through the tunnel.
Penn just stares and then signs the tunnel.
Yeah, go through the tunnel. All the books, and they're in the tunnel. Go through the tunnel, and they're just still stacking up their books. It's getting slightly higher.
Penn like throws his hands into the air in you know frustration and walks back over to Elisabeth because
The librarian does not notice. You hear another thunk, thunk, as more books get added to the pile on the desk.
and Penn uh, waves for Elizabeth's attention and signs. Apparently, we have to go through the tunnel.
Through the through the tunnel, and she kind of looks around, and then she got a nat 20 for perception earlier. She knows the tunnel is there. She looks over at the tunnel, and she looks down at herself, and then she looks at you, and then she looks down at herself, and she's like, well, I suppose I've squeezed myself through worse places. At least it's not through a dragon's den, I suppose. And she's just gonna. And what are you gonna do? Gosh, because she's kind of looking at her staff, and there's also a satchel around her that she's looking at. She's looking down at the tunnel, and you can roll like. I mean, you look at the tunnel and you look at this woman, you don't know if she's gonna fit. And you don't think she thinks she knows she's gonna fit.
Uh, Penn will sign. I can look in there for you and bring back out what looks interesting.
No, 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 no. And she just lifts up her hand again and shakes her head. No, 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 no. I appreciate the help, but I think it would be best if we both went together. After all, I don't want to keep sending you backwards and forwards in case you get the wrong thing. That would be rather rude. She's just gonna roll her. What should I roll her to get through? What would she...
Dexterity save, maybe?
Should I roll her a dex save or a con save for this?
Well, is it for fitting through, or is it for managing to crawl all that way?
True. Do a dex save.
Yeah.
Might do a dex save because she might be old, but she is an adventurer. So. But she will before she gets down, she will like kind of gesture you in first and say, I don't know if you prefer I go first or would you rather go first?
Penn will go first. Just in case she does get stuck, maybe he can help pull her through. So.
Fair enough. I will say, if you look inside of the book tunnel, it is pitch black. There's like a little bit of light, and then it's just darkness.
Oh, great. Does he have? Oh, he does. He has dancing lights as a cantrip, so I think he's gonna cast that so that it's hopefully not pitch black. Does it work, or is it magic darkness?
No, you cast dancing lights and they do appear. I presume you. How do you place them through the tunnel, or how are you doing this?
How long is the tunnel?
I mean, how long does dancing lights go? Like stretch?
It can go 120 feet apparently.
If you put them out 120 feet, it keeps going.
Oh my gosh. He's just keeping them clustered near him and Elisabeth so that like they can see their surrounding area pretty well.
Fair enough. Cool, okay. So are you gonna go onwards?
Yeah, I guess.
Into the tunnel. Oh my god.
What the heck?
Oh my god. Dice Passer really likes Elisabeth. This is my third nat 20.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Elisabeth is just winning. Okay, yeah, she gets down no problem. And she just follows on after you. And I'm just gonna say we both crawl for a while. Like you don't know how much time passes, but time certainly passes. It's weird. You go inside of the book, you go inside of the book tunnel, and it's like all the slight ambient noises you had from the library, like even just the sounds of like things happening outside, like hawkers selling their wares, or people having cups of coffee or tea, or even just like a cart on the road. Those all just fade out, and it's just quiet. It's very it's not bad, but it's not good. It's just like you're sitting somewhere quietly, or like crawling through a vent, I guess. And it takes you a little while. You do eventually. Ken, you're in front, so you kind of. Do you want to roll me a quick perception?
Sure.
No, wait, you have dancing lights up, don't you? You might want to do this. Well, actually, we're crawling for a while, and as you're crawling along, the dancing lights seem to. The tunnel around you seems to get a little bit bigger or taller, and then a little bit taller, and a little bit taller. And then, if you're to look to the sides, you notice, oh, those books aren't books anymore. Those books are bricks, or at least they're books painted to look like bricks. You can't tell if they're bricks that look like books or if they're books that look like bricks, but the tunnel is now big enough that you didn't have to crawl through anyway. You could walk through. It looks like it should be tall enough for Elisabeth to at least stoop in.
Yeah, he's gonna walk forward enough to let her, get up. Internally, he's like God, more of this fucking bullshit. Is there any place I can go in this town that does not have weird magic shit going on?
Sorry, Pen. Elizabeth is just gonna talk as she gets to her feet and says, "This, I've been to a few magical places. This is certainly a special sort of experience. Oh, I haven't been crouched down since I was in my 30s. Goodness gracious. No, wait, 40s. Although I don't suppose that counted. That was actually. Does it count if you were being traced by a teratrodon? I don't actually know. And as you keep moving forward, there's a little light coming up towards the end of this path. And eventually, you keep heading down, and you pop out, and you're back in the library. You seem to be on the second floor, near a balcony, and if you look down, you can still see the librarian is at the front desk. Once again, still just stacking their books, hyper-focused, not looking away. You seem to have just gone through the book tunnel, and if you look back behind you, you don't know where you came out. You came out of a wall? There's no hole, there's no exit, there's no door. You just came out of a wall.
And throws his hands up. Why not just have a staircase? How are they gonna get back down? What's wrong with this library?
Elizabeth, meanwhile, is just, well, that was an interesting bit of magic, and she is going over to the balcony and looking down and squinting at where the book tunnel is, and then back at the wall and back at the book tunnel. Is that some sort of transportation or teleportation? I've seen teleportation circles, but this seems to be a little more. This is very. Oh, I might have to. Well, it's not quite my circle of magic, I'll admit, but I might note this down. And she reaches into her satchel and pulls out like a quill nib and a notebook and starts to write things down as she flips through. You can roll a perception if you want.
Sure, why not? 16.
16. As they flip through, man, yeah. As you flip through, you can see that there are actually quite a few, like in the early sections, there's quite a lot of notes, like written notes, and then some quick rough sketches of some creatures. But as it flips through, these sketches get slightly more detailed. You can see that now they're not just sketches. It's like a lot more. They are still sketches, but they seem to be not only quickly done, but done with better precision. They seem to be like, what's the word? About like musculature of dragons. Like it's got like the wing bones, and it's got the overlay of like the skin over where the dragon's bones would rest, and how the horns grow from the skull through the head. Just like physiological things about dragons, and also nesting habits. Little doodles of that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's just a lot of info about dragons in this book. She's writing down in the back of it and muttering to herself, I have to make sure that I think my son, my son's wife, yes, no, she'd like to have a look at this. This would be very interesting. And she's just writing this stuff down.
Mm-hmm. What's Penn's reaction to that? He's just trying not to look too hard at the contents of the book. He's like, oh, what's in there? Oh, dragons? Okay, I'm done looking. And he's gonna, I think, start wandering off and trying to find books up here.
Oh, roll me an investigation. With advantage. Because, wonderful thing about the book tunnel is that it takes you where you need to go. So you will find these books. It is a matter of when. You didn't need to put the second D in, I don't think. Yeah, you can roll again. Oh, 17 though, that's pretty decent. We'll go with 17.
Yeah.
So you wander past a couple of bookshelves before you notice shiny section. Like it's like the bookshelves have basically covered in tinfoil, and it's very, very crinkly, and you look down and you see, oh hey, this is like about robotics, mechanics, and metal work and stuff. That's on the left, and then on the right there's like a peg leg. There's books on that, there's like book, like the whole bookshelf is carved in shapes of like arms and legs and like all sorts of. There's probably like a wing or a tail in there too.
Yeah, how
For those
creepy is it?
hands. I mean,
It's a
you could
bookshelf
always
covered
save.
in carvings of
You could always save to see how creeped out you are by it.
Okay. So 19 I think is probably not too upsetting to him, but like it is a bookshelf covered in carvings of dismembered limbs. Or disembodied
It's not
limbs.
dismembered limbs. They're artfully done. Because it's
Ah.
19, they're artfully done. It's like a hand like reaching out and then it's a leg striding forward kind of deal. It's not like a bunch of jumbled limbs carved in wood next to a fucking bookshelf. No.
I mean,
It is artful and tasteful. There's even like little carvings like in the actual ledges of the shelves, like of I don't know, like little gears and stuff, and like clockwork knockings. So yes, you have your robotics and prosthetics section. Congratulations. Whatever books you'd like from there. I'll need to roll her a perception and see if she fucking notices this. Let's see, are you gonna get another one or are you gonna get a 1? You got dirty 20. She looks around up from her book and she goes, oh, right. And she closes her book with a pump, puts it back in her satchel with her ink and quill, and then follows on after you. Ah, so I see you found the section you were looking for. Ah, excellent. I don't suppose you'd mind me asking too much exactly what you need these for, as she kind of skims the shelf with one of her fingers trading across the book spines very carefully, just having a good look.
Penn signs up. Someone I know needs to get a prosthetic soon. I'd like to have some idea what's going on.
She nods and looks down at you and says, that's a very wonderful thing to do with your friend. Obviously, it's good to check in and make sure that someone you care about, well, it'd be good to know that you can help them if you need to, and well, it might be good to look up on some of these sort of things. And she just nods. She travels across the shelves. She's gonna just stop at one book, absentmindedly pluck it from the shelf and just flick through it. And it's just gonna have like a book of like enchanting ruins to basically tell the prosthetic limb how to work, is essentially what she's booked up, and just looking at it, just going, well, I don't know who your friend is, but they're very lucky to have one of their friends going out of their way to make sure that if anything goes awry or if they need any support, that they have it. And she looks down over at you and smiles and holds down the book on the ruins out to you.
He will take the book and add it to like a small stack of books he's been accumulating, and then like I think shove them all in his hammer space. He'll deal with them at the desk later. He's not carrying them all through the tunnel again or something.
It's fair enough. Yeah, she's gonna look at the books. Actually, she's gonna look back at you, and she's just gonna spin and say, "Oh, would you rather I help you with that? I do have a satchel after all." And she reaches around and pulls her satchel to the forefront and opens the clip and sort of holds out to you. If you needed me to carry some of them for you, I'm more than happy.
No, he waves that off. He's like, I've got it covered. I was gonna offer the same to you. If we have to crawl through that tunnel again. I can't imagine it was easier to do while carrying a bunch of stuff.
You are correct. I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to get down. I didn't see any stairs, and she does look around at the balcony, and yet this is just like a second level. You do not know how you're going to be getting down. She just like, well, I suppose that's a problem for us to solve when we get to it. So those are what you're choosing then. How about we leave them somewhere? Let's leave them somewhere so you're not carrying around and tearing yourself around. We can figure out how to get them back once we've got all the books together. How about that?
Oh, he's already stuffed them in his hammer space. He's like,
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like she's saying this and then she turns around, the books are gone. She's just like, well, I suppose. And she's gonna roll another intelligence. Do you know what this is? See, she kind of squints at you, Ben, and just what? I think I've heard of that. Is that a thing called? Oh, I don't remember. And she just clicks her fingers together and sort of chews on her lip a little bit. How I don't remember what the word was, but it is something that I believe toons can do. I don't remember. Did you put them elsewhere?
Yeah, Pen nods and finger spells out hammer space.
Oh. She leans back on her staff and she looks wide-eyed, but then she leans in and there's a smile on her face. She looks quite delighted, actually. Oh my, that's rather... Oh, wow, that's rather nifty. I wish I had something like that when I was younger. It would save me so much trouble. And she just looks very fascinated at the fact that you have a hammer space. And she's just, no, that would certainly have been very helpful when I was younger. It must be so much easier than having to lug things around on you physically, like, you know. And she chucks the satchel on her shoulder and shrugs and says, but I suppose it builds character. It certainly builds something. Now, and she claps her hands and says, right, if you've got everything of yours, I should probably head over and try to find mine. And she's going to have a squint and look around. Let me see what your investigation is. Just a humble +3. Just a humble +3.
It's not bad. Oh, but that's not great either.
No, she got a 9. She's kind of squinting and looking around, and she's just... You see her reach up with her spare hand that's not leaning against the staff and rubbing her eyes. She's like, oh, goodness. You can roll an insight if you want.
Oh, I was gonna roll investigation to help out, but yeah.
I mean, this is just a fun thing.
It's the same modifier anyway.
14. You look at this woman and she looks very haggard and tired. You think she might have had like a late night or something. For those of you that don't know, the last FPS that this woman had was with Arby's character Volp. She got smashed. She got hella smashed. No. Yeah, she's slightly hungover, very slightly, and she's squinting and her head hurts. It's just, I think maybe I should have eased up last night. Goodness gracious. Oh dear. And she's just rubbing her forehead and looking down at you with a wan smile. And says, I really do hate to ask this of you, but would you mind helping me find the section I'm looking for?
Yeah, he takes a look around. 21, that's a fair sight better than a 9. So I think he does, look around a little, walk a couple aisles over until he sees what looks like, a section on magical flora and fauna. Maybe the bookshelves here are like actually growing out into live plants.
Oh, don't give me Lao ideas. Don't give me Lao ideas. I might take that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I'm taking it. Anyway, see, now, that's the thing. On one side, you definitely have all that lovely, wonderful flora growing out of the floor thing. You look to the other side. And you want to roll me a whiz save again?
Oh
Because
no.
yeah, that doesn't look like a bookshelf. Oh, probably does rattle you quite a bit because the bookshelf on the other side doesn't look. Oh, it doesn't look like a bookshelf. That looks like a dragon. It looks like a sleeping dragon, where its belly scale should be as it's sleeping on its side and curled up. Are a bunch of books. Basically lining its belly, where its belly should be, but instead it's just books.
Oh boy. Does Elizabeth want to roll an insight? And I'm gonna roll deception.
Elizabeth would love to roll an insight. You got 3 9 20s, and now it's just no more for you. You've had your good times.
Yeah, and Penn rolled higher than that deception, so Elizabeth can just see Penn points her over in this area and is very pointedly not looking there himself.
Oh, wonderful. She's just, oh, oh, it's gorgeous. And Penn, you immediately see this woman just sort of thunk, tonk, thunk, tonk, thunk, tonk. Not to the bookcase, but to the carving. Is it a carving of a dragon? You don't know. God, it's breathing. You think it's breathing. Oh, there's smoke coming out of its nose. You think that's smoke. You don't know. Is its tail twitching? You can't tell if it's got a tail twitching. Is that wing moving? You can't tell. As this woman is just, oh my, this is a wonderful bit of, I don't know if this is enchantment work or if this is an actual toon dragon. My word. And she is clearly enamored with looking at this dragon. She is not touching it or anything though. She's keeping about 5 foot away from it. She's slowly moving around it. Actually, I should probably roll her a stealth with disadvantage because she is wearing her armor technically. Okay, that was another nat 20 and then an 8.
Gosh.
It's still an 8 though. She makes a lot of jingling, jangling noises as she's moving around. And as she does, you see the head of this dragon just kind of flick, flick an ear, and then a puff of smoke comes out of their head as it shifts and rolls a little bit further onto its side and reveals even more books on its belly. And this woman looks and it's just, oh my goodness, oh goodness. And Penn, you'd have to roll an insight. This woman is going to go for those books.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I think the second that thing moved, Penn is gone. He is hiding behind something. He is not gonna be around in that area.
Do you notice this, or are you busy getting your books, woman? There's a giant dragon bookshelf in front of her. There are books in this thing's tummy. She's going in and she's getting her goddamn stuff. Penn, yeah, it takes you a little while before you hear anything again, and I'm gonna roll a strength save for her. Because, gosh, it's actually decent though. Oh my god, it's actually decent. I say she rolls a 9. It's been a lot of 9s for you today, honey. You hear her just kind of thump, thump, thump. Oh, for goodness sake, and kind of thunk, thump, and the sound of and just moving a couple of steps before thunk, and you just hear it dropping with a thunk. What you assume is something on the floor before putting something back, moving it, thunk again, and eventually around the corner from where you've run, you see that she is picking up a stack of books almost as tall as herself. The staff she usually uses to help her walk is under her arm. Her satchel is behind her. She is trying her hardest to carry these books that are almost as tall as her around these corners, but she's not a toon, and the tooniness is not on her side, and these books just kind of eventually just accordion themselves out of her arms and and land at a perfect stack about 15 feet away from her and pretty much in front of you. She's just, she's just sort of. I didn't know that toon books could do that, but it's certainly good to know. And you see she's out of breath, like, oh man, she's tired.
Well, at least if they find the stairs, she can just like flip them down like a slinky.
That's an interesting idea. Keep that in your pocket for later.
I feel like Penn needs to roll something here, and I'm not sure what, so I'm gonna make it a whiz save. Oh no, he's not doing good at all.
Oh dear.
So yeah, if Elisabeth wants to roll perception or insight onto Penn.
Same difference. It's the same difference. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. That's a 22! 22! Finally! No more nines!
Yeah. So yeah, Elisabeth can definitely tell Penn is trying to hide, not doing great, and probably having like a little panic attack. So
this is where the angst comes in. It took almost an hour, but we're here now. Angst time. Both cocks her head to the side. One of the loops of hair around her ear sways as she kind of makes her way slowly over to, like, she's making it obvious. She's making a very obvious tonk noise as she comes over towards Penn, and she's gonna sit. She's gonna slowly slump herself onto the floor about 5 foot away from Penn with a right, and she's gonna put her quarterstaff over her lap, thread her fingers together, look down at Penn, and I don't suppose you need anything in particular, or would you rather we just sit here for a bit? Take some deep breaths, dear. Would you like me to roll persuasion and try to ease them and let them know they're okay?
That might work. Yeah.
I look at your persuasion and I think, oh dear, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like Penn can sort of tell that Elisabeth is coming, so he's not like startled when she sits down, but he is.
Oh, this is the threat of nines today. I got God 3 nat 20s earlier, and now it's raining nines.
Dice Purser said Elisabeth will get 9 and nat 20s, and that's it.
9 and so, nat 20s, nothing else.
So like, I think yeah. I think Penn is kind of like I said, he's not really startled when Elisabeth sits down, but he doesn't really seem to be processing what she's saying, or that she's talking to him.
Okay, I have an awful idea. Elisabeth doesn't have many other options because she doesn't know what's startled them. Was it the thumping? It was probably the thumping is what she's thinking. So she's gonna grab a hold of the staff in her lap with both of her hands, slowly hold it out, and then very, very, very gently just poke Penn in the shoulder and ask, Penn, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think he like flinches back away from that and like skitters so his back's against the bookshelf.
All right, okay. Why would you poke someone? Oh, for goodness sake, Elizabeth, why would you poke someone having a panic attack? For goodness. And she's just sort of muttering to herself. She's just, what's good? What do I have? And she's gonna just reach into her satchel and have a rummage around. What do you have in here? No, you can't. You cannot give Penn that. you cannot give Penn that. That is not safe for Toons. You can't give Penn real kind alcohol. No. She has a water skein of wine, and I'm not giving that to Penn. No. Gosh, what's she gonna pull out? Oh, I know what she's gonna pull out. She pulls out a odd little cotton wool, like a wad of wool from her satchel, and she's gonna sort of roll it towards. I say roll, but it's more like a poof bounce kind of thing over to Penn, and she's just gonna like poke it towards Penn with the quarterstaff. It doesn't go all the way, and say, "Hold on to that, and just give it a quick squeeze."
He like looks down at the wool thing and then like looks up at Elisabeth like, what? Why do you want me to hold that? But it is, I think. I mean, blue screening and confusion is a difference from probably an improvement over outright panic. So he
is.
He does not pick it up, but I think so. There's a thing Penn can do, but he hasn't actually done in a game yet. So because he's an aberrant mind sorcerer, he can make a telepathic connection with someone and speak to them telepathically.
Okay.
So I think as long as okay. So it looks like actually this is not something Elisabeth has to be necessarily a willing target for. So that's cool to know for the future.
You want me to make a save?
No, it's not an attack thing. It's just
Suddenly in my head.
Yeah, suddenly in your head you are hearing so was it a real dragon?
This is going to be incredibly interesting because of what languages you could potentially know. Okay.
I mean, he's starting in common, so.
Oh, true.
I would hope. He does know common. He just can't speak. But yeah, in her head, Elisabeth hears what was that a real dragon?
But could you? That's the Elisabeth's just gonna startle a bit. Actually, I'm gonna roll a whiz save because.
That's fair.
Reasons. Ow.
Oh no! Okay. They're gonna set each other into panic attack.
Elisabeth's eyes just widen, and she just shakes her head quickly and taps the side of her face like, "Oh, for goodness sake, no, we're not doing this again. No, you get back. No, get back. We're not doing this again." And she just seems to be tapping the side of her head with her staff, not very hard, just like a tunk, 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 like gently tapping the side of her head. She's like, "No, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this now. You need to stay. No, you are not. No." And she's just shaking her head.
And Penn is more confused at that, and is I think he waves her attention and signs sorry.
Her eyes are kind of closed whilst you sign that. So it'll probably take her a real while to realise you've said anything. She'll probably like open her eyes and look back at you. Yeah, if you probably sign this while. Do you sign this while her eyes are closed? I do have to ask that, or do you wait for her to like stop shaking her head and open her eyes?
Uh, because ordinarily he would. He's not in a great state of mind to be signing right now. That's why he went to telepathy. So I think he's gonna do both. Sign it immediately and then sign it when he notices her eyes opening. So
Okay, so she's gonna look at you signing and squint and just go ahead. I don't know why you're apologizing, dear. It's fine. You've not done anything wrong. I feel I should ask. I don't know what exactly set that off, and she gestures at all of you. And was it the thumping? If it was the loud noises, I apologize. I didn't mean to startle you so badly.
uh uh yeah, he shakes his head no, and just signs dragon.
She just squint and nod her head and said, "Yes, there. Well, I couldn't quite tell if that was a dragon. Honestly, I don't know if that was a real dragon or not. I mean, I have not. The whole reason I'm here in Einquell, quite frankly, is to study things like this, you see." And she nods back towards where you can see a puff of smoke rise above the stacks, and just kind of seep over to another section where you just hear a noise, and you see the head of a vacuum just stick over the top of one of the bookshelves before slowly lowering down, having sucked up all the smoke. Um, she looks back at you and says, "Well, strange, not strange, but toonish dragons. I've not encountered anything like that before in my life, and quite frankly, I think they're it's going to be fascinating to study." And I'm gonna roll her. I'm gonna roll her a fucking whiz save again, because if she forgets that you've had a panic attack and she just goes off about dragons, which is entirely possible. She doesn't. She shakes her head and says, "No, now is not the time. But now is not the time because you said it was the dragon that set you off then."
Yeah, he nods.
Ah, I see. Leans back. "You're not a big fan of dragons then, are you?" She raises one brow.
She's getting a deadpan stare back, like, no shit, what? Like,
She just. Sorry, go ahead.
no, just like, you really think you have to ask that?
She looks uh, she looks slightly sheepish and just well, I suppose you're right. Considering your reaction, I suppose it is rather obvious that you're not incredibly keen on dragons. Not everyone is. And she leans back. However, I don't know what your experience with dragons have been. I don't suppose you would be willing to speak about that, or well, converse about it, I should say. Which seems to struggle to find the correct word to use.
uh, roll insight.
Hey, at you, it's gonna be a 9.
Oh gosh, 18. Now I have to figure out how much I actually want to give away.
Maybe
Cause
roll the insight, you deal with the consequences.
Okay. So with an 18, he obviously is not going to talk about it. Like, he's shaking his head, he's looking down. But also, Also, Elizabeth can see him bring a hand up towards where his mouth would be if he had one. And he's kind of shaking a little bit.
Okay. She's just gonna nod and shuffle slightly over and right, Penn, am I right to sit next to you, near you, or make physical contact with you? I suppose. Let me put this simply. Would you like a hug? Would you like a hug, Penn?
He shakes his head no, very emphatically.
All right. All right. No hugs and no touching, I presume, as well.
Yeah, small nod at that.
Okay. And she just shuffles next to Penn, leaning next to another bookcase, looking over the balcony, where Penn, you have now come down enough from your panic attack to notice that the stack of books, the pyramid of books that was being made, like a stack, like a house of cards, on the front desk, is now just almost level to the second floor balcony. You don't know how the librarian is putting them on, because every time you look away and look back, there's another book. The librarian is still at the bottom floor. How are you doing this?
Probably mage hand. He's not overly worried about it.
Fair enough. There's big concerns. Yeah, she's just gonna look down at you and say, Did you want to talk about it, or would you rather just sit here for a bit?
Yeah, no, he shakes his head no, and I think he signs, we should get out of here. Or at least further from that.
She looks down at Penn and slowly nods her head and goes to get up, puts her staff firmly with a thunk on the floor and pulls herself up with a heave. And she looks down at the stack of accordion books that have been making sad as they've been ignored by this woman who was supposed to be carrying them and having fun. Hello, excuse me. She's just kind of like, I know that dragons aren't for everyone, and I know that some people have had rather nasty encounters with them, but I'm sorry that you seem to be one of those people, Penn, because I suppose sometimes life is just like that, I suppose. And she shakes her head, mutters under her breath. She will kind of lean down again. You're gonna hear like the slick creak of her bones as she leans down and says, "Do you need a hand up, or are you all right?"
He gets to his feet on his own and sort of stuffs his hands into his pockets.
Gives a wry little smile and takes her hand back and says, "Oh, you are such a prickly little thing, aren't you, Pin?" Well, she stands up and says, "Well, I suppose that's your business, whether how much prickly you are and how much prickly you're not." And she slowly looks over at her books. "I still don't know how we're going to get down and how I'm going to get these down there." And she gestures again. You're on the second floor balcony. You can see down. Yeah. How are you getting down? How are you getting down?
I think Penn signs, I don't suppose you have Featherfall.
Woman sadly shakes her head. No, of all the spells I could potentially cast, Featherfall is not among them. thinks for a little bit. Let me see.
How
No,
close?
none of those are even useful.
How close is the like card pyramid of books to the balcony?
So the pyramid of books is it's about it's within jumping distance. Like you could probably like climb up onto the banister and get onto the top of the pile because that's now just slightly taller than the banister. Again, every time you look away and look back, there is another book. You don't know how this is happening, but there is another book on top of the stack.
And like eyes it like he's considering it, but he doubts that's gonna work for Elisabeth and also her mountain of books that she needs to take. Hey, I wonder if there's books on flying up here that maybe have like a floating bookshelf that they could ride down to the first floor.
Ah, man, that's a good question. I'm. She wouldn't do that. She wouldn't. Um, you, Pen, you're gonna see this woman kind of cock her head to the side and then look over slowly towards where the dragon was sleeping,
Oh no.
which did in fact have wings. Before she shakes her head and looks back down at you and says, "I would have suggested waking the dragon up and flying it down, but I don't think that would be wise." And she squints at you.
Yeah,
Um,
no, like as she mentions that, she can see Penn sort of tensing up again.
she nods and is like, "All right, so the dragon is no go." She kind of looks around. And she looks at the stack of books, which is again slowly getting taller. And Pen, you'd have to roll insight. You can see her eyes get slowly a little bit wider. And if she were a toon, you'd think a light bulb would appear above her head as she looks at this thing. And then she slowly looks down at you, Pen, and gives you a little wry grin and says, "So, Pen, how how flexible would you say you are?"
I honestly think he just like glares at her like, what on earth are you talking about?
Oh, she's gonna. Oh, God, she is gonna do this. God damn it, woman. Okay, give me a second. Do you want to roll me an acrobatics or an athletics?
Okay. Uh, acrobatics is at least not a negative, so.
Buddy. Oh, buddy. You do not escape as Elizabeth leans down, scoops you up in her free arm, sort of. Hang on, let me. Come on, whistle, damn you! You can whistle. Whistles for the books, which kind of follow afterwards as she makes her way over
No.
with you under her arm
Yeah,
towards the stack
no.
of books.
Sorry,
Um,
Elizabeth, you've just done the worst thing short of calling the dragon over, and Penn is kicking
no,
in
no,
your
I'm not
arms
calling
to
the
be put
dragon.
down.
I'm not calling the dragon over.
No, she's not. She's done the next worst thing, which is pick Penn up, and he's
Oh.
kicking to be put down.
Um, she looks. She doesn't put him down until she gets to the banister, and then she pops him on the banister and looks at the pile of books in front of her. She's not paying attention to any displeasure that Penn may be showing. She's just so the idea here is, well, we put this, and she looks at the pile of books, which is just kind of next to them on the ground. Put it on the banister. Have it its way onto the top of that stack, and then we ride it down. What do you think?
I gotta be honest, Penn is not listening. Penn is also not staying put on the banister. He's jumping back down to the floor and uh Running and hiding again.
She's just gonna kind of blink. She's gonna look at the stack of slowly growing books. And she's just gonna look at the stack of sad accordion books, and she's just, I suppose we better go find him. I can't leave him alone in here, especially if that dragon wakes up or some such. I don't really know what it's going to do. And she just kind of turns around and, what do you want me to do to find this thing? What do you want me to do to find Penn?
I should probably roll stealth or something to see if he's actually like hiding. How good he's hiding first, and then you can roll investigation to contest. Yeah, he's not doing a great job.
Let's go with investigation. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh my god.
I thought. Can I argue survival for like tracking?
Sure, yeah.
We get in that one. Watch me get in that one. Watch me get in that fucking one. Oh my god. So I think she wanders through the stacks and basically just, Penn, where are you? Penn, come out. If this is about me picking you up, I apologise. I acted very brashly, but I was very keen to get out, and I know you were keen to get to the front desk and get out, and I thought it'd be the easiest and quickest way for me to get you and I away from the dragon. I apologise. Please come out so we can just... Alright, if you don't want to come out with me, you can take your time if you really want. And she stops down one aisle with the sad little accordion book pile next to her. I won't force you to come out if you don't want to. I may have pushed the bracket here a little bit. I apologise, but I am going to write the books down. You can join me if you'd like, or you can find another way. I'm sure you can take the book tunnel back, or find another way down. You're a resourceful little... You seem like the resourceful sort, anyhow. But for all it was worth, thank you. Thank you for helping me today, Penn, and I hope we get the chance to speak again on less aggravating terms. And unless Penn does or says anything in response to this, she's gonna kind of just turn around and head over to the stack of books that is now definitely over the banister.
Yeah. Penn does not appear or seem to have any reaction to that, so.
Okay, cool. I just roll something for her then. She's gonna look down. Gosh, I just forgot she had a thing. I'm gonna say, for the sake of this FPS, that this works. They're gonna cast Animal Friendship on this sad little accordion stack of books, which was obedient anyway, but now it's just her best friend. And it's charmed by her. I'm not gonna roll for this because it's an FPS and I can do what I like. And she's just gonna tell it, alright, so when you're ready, hop on up and we can head down. And then I'm gonna roll an acrobatics for her to see how well she handles this. As the sad accordion stack of books just on the top of this book pyramid, and you just hear like a Penn, you will hear this wherever you are. You hear like a rumble noise from inside the building, like a and you're gonna hear a mad sort of oh goodness, I haven't done something like this since I was 16, and she's just gonna ride this puddle. But I don't know if Penn can see this. I don't know what Penn's doing at the moment. But if Penn can't see this, for the viewers, Elisabeth is just on the top of this stack, and it just falls down from the bottom outwards like a wave, and she rolls down with it expertly, as the sad little accordion stack follows after her. But she lands neatly at the front desk, looks down at her stack of accordion books, pointedly doesn't look at the the now just disaster zone of books spread across this library entranceway. The librarian that was stacking these seems to just stare blank face at her. She gestures down at her books. The librarian slowly reaches under the desk, pulls out a little gun, like a laser gun.
Yeah, the little checkout gun.
Yeah, just beep, beep, beep. Keeps all the books. Nods their head at the book stack and says, "Okay, you did good for them. All right, I'll see you back in about a week. I think it'd be closer to a month. All right, month. Got it, lads. Back here in a month." And the audience sector goes, and Elizabeth just kind of puts her head, turns around, and goes to leave. And the librarian says nothing about their toppled pyramid stack.
I imagine that happens all too often when people get fed up with this library.
Look, this particular library is very, what's the word? Interesting.
That's
An
one
alternative
word.
library. Library. It's an alternative library. But yeah, how's Penn right now?
Very bad.
Aww.
Yeah, he really does not like being picked up unexpectedly like that. Especially because he was already not doing hot. So he's probably gonna be up there for a while before he, starts to think about trying to find a way back down.
Buddy, you want to find a way back down? Well, the book stack's gone. You want to roll me an investigation? Because we are coming up to... Yeah, we've been going for like an hour and 20. Just roll me an investigation, and this will just be how long it takes for you to get out. Oh, that's
24.
almost an hour. Damn. You're very eager to get out. You're looking for every kind of escape. I mean, there are windows out of the second floor, but there is also there's like a fireman's pole that appears before you. There are windows. There's a blanket you could probably try and crawl under. You don't know what would happen if you did that, but there are many options. I'm leaving it up to you, Zen, how you think they would get out.
Yeah, I think the whatever the most straightforward exit seems to be. So probably either the pole, the fireman pole.
Oh yeah, fireman pole. Yeah, you can roll athletics if you want, but you don't have to.
Yeah, it is not a great modifier, so we'll see. Oh, that's not bad. So it does okay getting down the pole and doesn't fall off of it.
Yeah, no, you just slide down it like a fireman pole. It's easy as you just slide down, get to the bottom. Yeah, you're on the first floor now. I presume unless there was anything else extra bits you wanted to do, Zen.
Not really. He's gonna go check out the books, and he's gonna tell the librarian, "You need a staircase to the second floor. You need a staircase."
The librarian, very blank face, just looks down at Penn, looks up at the second floor, and down at Penn, and just there are other ways to get up there. You got up and down, didn't you? It's fine. The library provides. Nods their head as if that's some sort of answer.
Penn is just done with this place at this point, so he'll, check out his books, take his books, and then he's leaving. Get him out of this fucking hellhole.
Yeah. You will faintly hear the sounds of from down the road as you leave, and you see a strange stack of accordion books following after the twisting cape of someone turning around the corner.
And Penn is gonna go in the opposite direction.
Okay, and I feel we fade out, looking at the library as two people of different virtues and interests walk away from each other. If they meet again, who knows? But yeah, I only got to touch on a bit of what this was, but thank you very much for playing with me, Zen. This was good. It was so good. Thank you for indulging me in my nonsense.
I was gonna say the same thing. Thank you for letting me spill the tiniest hint of pen lore.
No, I grab at the Penn lore. I throw this woman at Penn to irritate him. Let me learn about Penn and their traumas and whatever the hell's up with the dragons. Because this woman does want to know. This woman may or may not have experience settling people who are upset with dragons, cough cough. But anyway.
She's gonna have an uphill battle cut out for her trying to work back from today. So
this woman literally deals with dragons. She's been dealing with dragons for a long time.
Oh no! I mean, like dealing with Penn. Penn doesn't like her now because she picked him up.
I'm talking about in terms of stubbornness. She is used to dealing with that. So this is gonna be a fun butting of heads. Yeah. Thank you for playing with me, Zen. Thank you, people, for listening, both in the present and in the future. I hope you enjoyed this. This was a delight. I might have to try and remember some of this library stuff for future use. But anyway, Zen, if you've got any last words, I'm just going to say goodbye otherwise.
Just the way you said last words, like you're going to shoot me as soon as the recording ends. No, I'm good.
No, I have plans for you. You're not dying yet. Not yet. But anyway, goodbye everyone listening.
Goodbye.